Welcome back to my book review. I didn't have my Odyssey Year in my 20s, I had it at the age of 34. I was moving at such high velocity to the point that self-exploration felt like a luxury that I cannot afford. And 3 months ago, I finally hit the brakes. I walked away from my role as a director of data science. I had a dream job on paper, but I was living in a manufactured happiness that is fueled by mimetic desire. Today, I'm breaking down the high achiever trap and the framework I'm using to rebuild. It's based on a book, Tiny Experiment by Anne-Laure Le Cunff. It's the operating system for anyone like me who got to ask what they actually wanted while they were busy being successful. And most of the terms I mentioned in this video are from this book. Growing up, I was the ultimate copycat. In school, I find a person who are 2 steps ahead. I study their moves and do exactly what they did. I thought I was strategic, but I was actually just paying the high achiever debt. Because when you're labeled talented early on, you feel a massive social obligation to stay on the most respectable path. I climbed from analyst to director by imitating leaders above me, and soon I found out there was no one left to copy. And I reached the vanity glory phase, where title was just a mask for meetings about meetings, and I was managing way more politics than creating real value. Now, the fact that I'm realizing I'm calling my younger self a copycat, but looking back through the lens of Tiny Experiments, I realized that it is something profoundly different. Even though I was following somebody else's roadmap, I wasn't just a passive observer, because as a data scientist, I know that you can't just simply copy a human life any more than you can copy and paste a complex model on a new dataset without tuning it. Every time I'm trying a new study habit from a senior or a new management style from a VP, I was running micro experiments. I was tweaking the variables, how I spoke, how I analyzed, how I led, to see how they fit my personality and my technical stack. But I was just iterating at a micro level, perfecting the how, but didn't have the courage to change the where or why at a macro level. The reason it took me until the age of 34 to realize this is because of self-consistency trap. A self-consistency trap is a psychological pressure to act in a way that aligns with your past choices so you don't look unreliable to others. And we see this everywhere. The lawyer who hates the laws but stays because of the degree, and a doctor who is burnout but stayed because of the residency. But at that point, we're just treating our past achievements as a prison sentence. So for me, I feel like leaving data science is deleting 12 years of my life. But your past isn't a prison, it's a data set. And the most important thing I learned from the past 12 years is how to iterate. In the traditional education system, we're taught effort will lead to outcome. If you study 10 extra hours, there's a higher likelihood that you will get an A. We learn to attach our self-worth to the grind. But in real world, busyness is not business. Busyness is creating work for the sake of looking occupied, whereas business is creating value in exchange for money. Let's review the Greek definition of time. They have 2 words to describe time, chronos and kairos. Chrono describes the quantitative aspects of time. The ticking clock, the 9 to 5, the 40-hour work week we use as a badge of honor. Chrono is about filling the space. It's what we are paid for in the corporate world, showing up and being busy. But on the other hand, Kairo describes the qualitative aspects of time. Kairo isn't about how long you work, it's about the impact of that work. In most corporate work, we live in chronos. My calendar was always full, but my impact felt diluted and sometimes non-existent. And now I'm chasing Kairo. I would rather spend 2 hours of deep, inspired focus that creates real value than 12 hours of a shallow busyness just to feel productive. For years, I managed my team using SMART goals. These are great for stable corporate environments where paths are already paved. But when you're in your Odyssey year, a period of a total uncertainty, SMART goals are a trap because they focus on the outcomes, which you cannot always control, and it will lead to massive anxiety if you miss the mark. In Tiny Experiments, Anne-Laure proposed the PACT framework as a replacement. It's short for purposeful, actionable, continuous, and trackable. Now let's start with P, purposeful. It's a question, does it move you towards your long-term vision? It's about a why, not just a what. output, and a pack also need to be actionable. Forget about the distant outcome. What is the actual output that you can control today? And for being continuous, is your action simple and repeatable? Last but not least, your pack need to be trackable. However, we're not looking at OKR or KPI, those complex metrics. For it to be trackable, the metric is a simple binary yes or no. Did you do it? Yes or no? And I've been applying this to my content creation. My pack isn't getting 10k followers or 1 million views. My pack is I'll share and post one honest insight or learning every single week. Have I been posting?
Yes.
Did I post the past week?
Yes.
Did I post every single week in the past 3 months?
Yes.
Then the goal is met. The shift from outcome to output is what cured my analysis paralysis. Everything I talked about today, packed framework, the shift from chronos to kairos, all fit into what Anne-Laure calls experimentalist toolkit. Think of this as a compass when you're off-roading in your career. It's a wheel divided into 4 quadrants. First, commit to curiosity. This is where you start. It's about non-linear goal setting and achieving cognitive freedom from old corporate scripts. Secondly, practice mindful productivity. This is how you maintain momentum. It's about using magic windows of a deep focus and embracing intentional imperfection. Do the work even when it's not very polished yet. And the third part is collaborate with uncertainty. This tells you what to do next. It's about decision framing and nimble resilience. Learn to dance with disruption instead of being paralyzed by it. And finally, grow with the world. This is about learning in public and social flow. And that's where you shift from the vanity glory of a title to generative work of a community. I'm now treating my life as a series of tiny experiments. I'm learning in public, I post, I get instant feedback on the thumbnail, on the hook, on the vibe, and I adjust. I'm leaning into the you stress, which literally means good stress. Unlike the grinding burnout of a corporate politics, you stress is the pressure that comes from growth. It's the adrenaline of not knowing the answer but trusting the experiment. And I'll be honest, being a beginner at 35 is very terrifying. I got influencer anxiety, looking at low view count, 0 subscriber growth. Just starting from 0 makes me anxious. My brain is still wired to crave social proof of a big corporate title, but I'm training myself to shift focus from external validation to inner excellence. I've spent 12 years perfecting other people's roadmaps. I was a master of micro iterations. Now I'm finally using the same skills to build my own trajectory. Because here's the truth. Manufactured success, the kind that look good on LinkedIn but feels hollow at 2 a.m. is not a goal. Being excited by life itself is what naturally and sustainably make you successful. And we used to think corporate life is a safe bet. But in the era of AI, those safe jobs are the most vulnerable to disruption. The real long-term stability isn't found in a safe title. It's found in building a path that you're so inspired by that you want to stay consistent on it. Stability isn't a paycheck. It's whether you have the adaptability to the changing world. My Odyssey Year isn't about finding a new title to hide behind. It's about finally finding myself. I'm moving away from a linear path to an experimental path. So follow along to see how my experiment pans out. I'm Rita. This is the beginning of my Odyssey Year, and I will see you in the next one.